Super. Okay. Well, let's talk about some other issues going on with the school system.
Okay.
At Lebanon Middle School, there is a principal that we're trying to replace, correct? Can you
Yes.
tell us what happened, created the vacancy there, and what's the process going on?
Okay. Mr. Farmer applied to be the Federal Director of Programs here in Marion County, and I made that selection. I'm real excited about having him on board. He brings a wealth of experience, and I'm excited about his enthusiasm. You know, Mr. Farmer has led Lebanon Middle School to be a schools to watch. Very few schools in Kentucky even have that notoriety. And so I'm excited that he'll bring that to us here at the central office, so he won't just be impacting Lebanon Middle School, he'll actually be helping the entire district. But what it does is it does create a vacancy at Lebanon Middle School, and this evening myself and Ms. Newcomb will actually be providing the training, but we will actually be going through the process with the council, because by law the council is required to be trained for principal selection process. And during that process we will actually create a timeline of events, and that'll be based on their policy and obviously the state law. So, you know, there could be a possibility that we could be looking at actually a principal in the very near future. Currently we do have an assistant principal there now, Jeremy McGuire, and David Hamilton, our counsel, and you know, we've got a strong staff at Lebanon Middle School. So I know that under this short period of time they'll take things and move forward. But and I'll keep the community posted through the newspaper and yourself as well as what that timeline looks like and when we should expect a new principal at Lebanon Middle School.
Okay, great, great. Congratulations, Mr. Farmer.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Now, also on some other personnel issues, because of some restructuring or some issues going on with the special education program, there's the possibility of some people who might not be able to maintain their jobs in the next year with special ed. Is that correct?
Yes. What's happening with special education is each year at the beginning of December we have something called child count, and that tells us how many special education students we will have for the next school year. And what we found through child count is that we've lost 40 students, and when I say lost, that means that there are 40 less students who have qualified to be in the special education program. We've not physically lost them. They're still here in our school system. They are just not notated as a special education student. And our special education staff is based on the number of students who are actually enrolled.
Right.
And I talked a little bit about this at our December board meeting, just to make folks aware, is that if your enrollment decreases, generally your staff could decrease. So that's one of those things that I think we need to talk about. It's good and bad. Good that we've got kids that are doing well and don't need the extra support services of special ed. Not so good in that we won't need as many special education teachers.
Because when you say that they're lost, they can go through graduation, but they also, if they test out, which means, and hopefully that means that the special education instruction has been of assistance, so that they've been able to move on further.
Absolutely,
right?
And that's what we want. That's the whole purpose of them being in the program is for the students to make gains.
Okay, great. So as we talk too, it's January, and we know that legislative session is just starting in Frankfurt, and that often impacts education, because education is one of the big areas that the state government kind of funds. Right?
Absolutely.
How much of the funding for the schools come from the state primarily? Do you have an idea?
Oh, I can't give you
Is the bulk the county school tax?
The majority of our funding comes from our county, and I think the newspaper printed an article this week, and I'd actually posted that on my Facebook page about the difference between a school system in eastern Kentucky and a school system in Anchorage. I think the school system in Anchorage, their spending per pupil was about $20,000, and the school system in eastern Kentucky was about $9,000. And you know, and what they were talking about is that when you know, it's the difference in the taxes that's generated in each one of the communities. And you know, what we had hoped was with CARA is that would be equal, and it would not matter where a child grew up, everyone would have the same opportunity for education and the same amount of money. So we're dependent on the state, but we're also dependent on our local taxpayers as well.
Right. Are you hearing anything from any of our legislators regarding any issues that might be impacting education this year?
Well, I think what we're hearing is that everybody wants a piece of the pie, and everybody wants their piece of the pie to be a little bigger than it was last year because everybody has such great needs. You know, I've not spoke with Jimmy or Terry specifically about what that looks like. You know, we're fortunate that we have both of them here in Marion County, and I know they'll do everything they can do, but I do know that that's only, you know, two individuals in a very large group. But I really believe Kentucky understands, you know, if we want our state to move forward, that, you know, education is where that starts. We want to be proactive, not reactive.
So as we said, as we started this, we are at day 87 of the school year. We have 87 days left. So what do we have to look forward to for the second half of the year here at Marion County?
I think what we want to do is just, we want to keep doing what we've been doing. You know, our motto is that we dream for children, we believe in children, and we want them to achieve. And I think the same thing for the staff as well. We want to just stay very focused on the what, which is the standards. What is it that kids need to know and be able to do to be successful next year? You know, we still want to be focused on, we want all kids to be college and career ready. I don't think anybody can argue with that. And we know that college and career readiness starts not when they walk through the high school doors, but when they walk through the door, whether it's preschool and kindergarten. So we want to focus on that. We don't want any child to be novice. We want all kids to be reading on grade level, and we want all kids to be on math. And we're just going to do those kinds of things. We're still excited about the Compass program, where children have an opportunity to get support based on their individual needs, not the classroom needs, not the entire grade level need, but that individual child. And then you know, I think it's just about charging forward, moving forward. What is it that we need to know and be able to do so that when our 87 days ends, every child is prepared to go on to that next level.
Great. Again, I've been talking with Dolores Schlosser, who is the Marion County School Superintendent. This is our Ask the Superintendent segment here on Central Kentucky Television. And hopefully we're getting back with Ms. Schlosser in a few weeks, next month so. And if you have any questions that you'd like us to pass on, please email us at info@channel6tv.com. We'll be happy to pass them on. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And hopefully the weather will stay nice and we'll have any more days that we'll miss, right?
Let's hope.
Yes. Let's speak Gary White for Central Kentucky Television.